Hey, Tampa meteorologist Mark Thibodeau. Obviously, a very serious situation shaping up across the West Florida Peninsula. We are on a hurricane watch now in Tampa, St. Pete, and all around us down to Sarasota, Venice, back up to Brooksville. We are squarely in the middle of a hurricane watch, and it goes inland to Winter Haven as well as Sebring. This means hurricane conditions are possible within 48 hours, winds over 75 miles an hour. We're talking about blinding rain here and storm surge that could be a problem by midweek. By Wednesday evening, as Hurricane Milton goes a little north of us or a little south of us. And that's a bit on the important side, because if it goes north of us, we're going to get that onshore flow, and that's when we get that surge into Tampa Bay and the old Tampa Bay and down here across some of these barrier islands over towards Sarasota and down to Venice potentially. Now, if it goes south of us, we still are going to get very strong winds and heavy rain, but maybe less of a surge. So still room for error. Computer models are in agreement on one thing, though. We are going to have a very significant hurricane approaching our area or very close to us by the time we get to Wednesday evening and possibly into early Thursday. So initially, we have this northeast wind, 20 to 25 miles an hour, and we have this predecessor rain event, much like we had with Helene across the southeast. That means rain not connected to the hurricane. The hurricane is still well back over the Gulf of Mexico, so this is not hurricane rain. This is just a flow of moisture coming off the Gulf, which is dumping rain onto us. And we were worried about this last week with this rain first and then the hurricane next, which would happen midweek. That's when Milton begins to approach the area. So first we get this initial rain. You can see it's not real impressive on the future radars, but there will be some heavy showers around at times that could be adding up a little bit. You can see the flow starts to come off the Gulf of Mexico, the upper level flow. That's with our hurricane getting ever so closer. And rainfall is going to be very significant. Could be 7+ inches. And I don't have to tell anybody that we just had a lot of problems from Helene with all that rain and flooding. So this certainly is not going to help things, and complemented by maybe a direct hit from a Category 3 or 4 hurricane is going to really make things very messy around here. So if you have evacuation orders that are issued, certainly heed them. This is way too dangerous to hang out at the coast when this thing moves in. You just don't want to do it. It's just not worth it. I mean, we could have what we call non-survivable storm surge in spots if this comes in at the wrong spot north of us a little bit. So very, very close attention to this over the next few days. It's pretty quiet initially. It's breezy out there. There will be some rain again as we head through Tuesday. This could be heavy rain in spots. And then as we get to Wednesday, we all know what happens then. Then we're looking at the hurricane approaching. And ahead of the hurricane on Tuesday, getting into that right side already, so we could have these inflow bands or rain bands coming in that have a few severe thunderstorms with them and maybe some isolated tornadoes. So just a real mess this week with the peak of all the bad weather Wednesday into Wednesday night as Milton moves across the West Florida Peninsula as a major hurricane. Pay close attention. This is not something to take lightly.
79 degrees under cloudy skies. Here's our local Doppler radar.